Buzz, welcome back to the channel where we dive into all things K-pop with heart, hype, and a little bit of hot tea. Today, we're talking about something that deserves way more spotlight than it's getting. Stray Kids and ENHYPEN making major waves outside Korea, right in the heart of the US music industry. Yup, both groups have landed in the top 10 best-selling albums in the US for the first half of 2025. That's not just impressive, it's industry-shaking. So let's rewind a bit and talk about how we even got here. You know, not too long ago, it felt like only a few K-pop groups could really break through in the US market. We had the big three acts, BTS, Blackpink, Twice, dominating, but now we're seeing the next wave. Groups like Stray Kids and ENHYPEN are not only debuting in the US charts, they're staying there and selling big. Stray Kids dropped Hop back in December of 2024. At the time, fans were already raving about the experimental sound, the visuals, and of course the insane energy the group always brings. But what's even crazier is that this album didn't just chart, it owned. Hop ranked #1 on the Billboard 200, which is America's main album chart. And as of now, it has sold 149,000 copies in the US alone. That's not digital streams. We're talking pure album sales, which shows a super loyal fan base. And that's not all. Hop also went gold in the US, certified by the RIAA. That's only awarded when an album sells over 500,000 units. For a K-pop album to hit that level, that's huge. It's a testament to how far Stray Kids have come. From District 9 to Elevator to now dominating US charts, man, what a journey. Right after Stray Kids on that same US chart, at #9, we have none other than ENHYPEN with Desire Unleashed. And let me tell you, this wasn't some slow climb. The album debuted at #3 on the Billboard 200 and held its spot on the chart for 5 consecutive weeks. Like, consistency? They've got it. The US sales? 145,000 albums sold. And keep in mind, this is only for the first half of the year. Plus, when you zoom out and look globally, they've sold 2.14 million copies of this album in total. That makes Desire Unleashed the second highest-selling K-pop album of 2025 so far. How wild is that? And Japan? Don't even get me started. They ranked 9th in the Oricon First Half album chart with only 3 days of tracking. That means fans rushed out and bought this album almost immediately after release. It's not just a comeback, it's a power move. What I find so powerful about this whole moment is that both groups are clearly resonating with international fans. It's not just about catchy hooks or stunning visuals, although they've got plenty of that. It's about storytelling, identity, and the connection fans feel with the members. And honestly, that's the kind of depth that turns casual listeners into lifelong stans. Now let's pause and talk about the company they're keeping on that top 10 list. We're talking The Weeknd, Kendrick Lamar, Sabrina Carpenter, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift. Like, these are household names in the West. And right up there with them, Stray Kids and ENHYPEN. This isn't just a win for the groups, it's a win for K-pop as a whole. But I gotta ask you, do you think K-pop groups like Stray Kids and ENHYPEN are finally being recognized for their artistry in the US? Or is it still mostly fan-driven without mainstream media support? Let me know what you think down in the comments because I've got some thoughts on that, and I'll share them in the second half of this video. Also, between Hop and Desire Unleashed, which album do you think had the bigger global impact this year? And be honest, I know some of y'all are multi-stans. Stick around, because in the next segment, we're breaking down the emotional impact this success has had on fans, reactions from the industry, and how this moment might just redefine who the next generation of K-pop legends will be. You're gonna wanna hear this. Let's get into the emotional side of things, because let's be real, when this ranking came out, fans were not just happy, they were crying, screaming, and shaking. This wasn't just another chart update. For so many STAYs and ENGENEs, this moment felt like validation. Years of streaming, voting, buying albums, defending their faves online, it all led to this. Seeing their groups on a list dominated by Western artists, not as special mentions but as top sellers, is a kind of payoff that hits deep. I saw so many posts like, "They made it," "This is history," "We didn't need a collab to get here." And honestly, that last one hit me. Because unlike some K-pop acts that leaned heavily on Western features to break into the US market, Stray Kids and ENHYPEN did it on their own terms. Korean lyrics, Korean visuals, and uniquely K-pop storytelling. That's what makes this so iconic. Fans also pointed out how different these two groups are in style and concept. Stray Kids are known for their high energy, in-your-face performances and deep lyrics about self-struggle and identity. ENHYPEN leans into lore-heavy, cinematic comebacks that blur the lines between fantasy and reality. And yet, both manage to connect with US fans in a meaningful way. That shows the versatility of K-pop and how it's not one-size-fits-all. Now let's zoom out a bit, because this success isn't just about album numbers. It's a shift in how the Western industry sees K-pop. For the longest time, K-pop was treated like a trend or niche genre. Something cute and catchy, but not something that sells next to the likes of Kendrick or Taylor. But these sales numbers, they're changing the narrative. When you have groups like Stray Kids and ENHYPEN consistently charting, outselling some Western artists, getting certifications like RIA Gold, the industry can't ignore that anymore. It means more K-pop acts might start getting equal footing in award shows, festivals, and radio play. And while we still have a long way to go, because let's be real, Western media still underrepresents K-pop achievements. It's moments like these that push the door open a little wider for the next wave. Personally, I think what Stray Kids and ENHYPEN are doing right now is paving the way for fourth and even fifth-gen groups to expand globally without having to compromise their identity. That's powerful, because it means the world is starting to meet K-pop on our terms, not the other way around. And you know what else? These numbers are not just luck. They're the result of strong storytelling, well-thought-out concepts, and a fan base that feels like family. STAYs and ENGENEs didn't just buy the album. They streamed, promoted, translated content, made edits, and built communities that support the whole group, not just one member. So here's something I want to ask you again. Do you think more Western listeners are starting to appreciate the full package of K-pop? The music, visuals, choreography, and lore? Or are they still just curious about the trend? Also, who do you think is next to break into the US top album sales list? Will it be ATEEZ? TXT? Maybe even a girl group next? Drop your thoughts below because I love reading your takes. You guys always bring the best K-pop debates to the comment section. And hey, if this video made you feel proud of your faves, or even just helped you understand how big this moment is, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your fellow STAYs and ENGENEs. Let's give them the spotlight they deserve. Until next time, this is Anyoungbuzz signing off. Stay loud, stay proud, and keep supporting your idols like the legends they are. See you in the next one.